G&T, get your drinks and your rolls up, because today we are here to talk about stuff that actually happened in our general nerddom. I'm here, Tony, to talk about the Boys trailer, because I'm ready for the Boys. What are you here for, Boo?
Talking about the boys, I got Spider-Man to talk about. There's some crap going on with that. There's a lot of stuff that dropped this week. There's enough things to talk about that we can ramble on and on about. So let's ramble.
All right. All right. Well, I'm going to start with the Boys then.
Yeah.
Then we got the final season of the Boys.
Yep.
It's here. It's coming. Hopefully it's better than last season. I don't think last season was
You didn't like
particularly
last
bad.
season? Really?
I don't think it was bad. Like it wasn't bad. It's just and I think the showrunners even said, like, so we filmed this like a year before everything that happened. So we were just thinking of ridiculous stuff. And the fact that it lined up so perfectly with what was actually happening
Going on. Yeah.
we didn't intend this to be a commentary. We were like, how, because like we've always been about, look how ridiculous this fascist idiot is, and that's what the story was about. So we really didn't know that it was going to be this on the nose, and it's not their fault. Like, I think the season was fine. Uh, the biggest issue for me is I take things as escapism. If I'm watching a TV show or a movie, it's not because I want to find out. Like, I watch how it works if I want to see how it's made, if I want to know how springs are made. I don't watch The Boys to see what CNN is telling me right now. So it might have just been a happenstance, but that last season I was like, oh, it's not entertaining. Like, I'm not entertained right now, you know? That said, it was still good. I thought the last season of Gen V was good. But this is it. This is the final season.
Yep.
And that trailer has a lot to it.
Yep.
It looks like we are at full he's in charge. Like, he's the boss.
Yep.
Homelander is in charge. No one can stop him. Not a person. Maybe like two people can stop him. But why is he in charge?
Yeah.
Because of Sage. Like, why did Sage put him in charge? She's smart enough to have done all of that. She's smart enough to kill him.
Yep.
Right? So what's going on? What was Sage's real plan?
Yep.
Like, what's she really trying to do? What is the plan? I've heard some rumors already.
After what happened with Gen V, right? Clearly, because that's why we see Starlight grouping together the group from Gen V. So this is clearly an aftermath of that. So you're right. Like, what exactly is she up to? How exactly does he get to power? Well, we saw that kind of sort of play itself out in season 4.
The weird combination. Like, the plan was that Homelander was going to be an idiot, so they would send someone to assassinate the president, and the president would then try to assassinate other blood girl. I forgot her name.
Oh, it's same here. I can't remember what her name is either.
I remember 3 names from The Boys, which is not a great start. Real names, like Huey. I remember Huey. One of them is named Frenchie. He has a real name.
Frenchie, yep. MM.
Yeah. That's so weird. And what else happened?
And then,
I'm trying to think of, like, what happened at the end of The Boys.
So Butcher Sickness is he's basically mutated now to being like a full on soup.
Yeah, but Butcher has a
He
superpowered
Newman,
cancer.
Victoria Newman.
Victoria
That's
Newman.
who. Yeah, yeah, that's who.
Thank you.
That's who he killed. So, like we're at the point now where we're following the aftermath of all that. And no, Sage comes back at the very end, and Homelander's a little shocked. He's like, "Did you do this for me?" And she was like, "Nah, I didn't do it for you. I did it because I wanted to prove that I could," which is perfect. That's the perfect angle.
It
So
is.
yeah, I mean, so there's a lot of things that's interesting. So number one, I always try to figure out what the tie-in is to the comics because I haven't read the comics, right? So I'm always like, oh, what's cool about the comics and what's cool about like what makes sense in the show. And the one thing I do you know how does it end in the comics? Because obviously they're probably gonna go a different direction. Like how does it end in the comics?
We're so far removed from the comics.
Okay. Because it looks
We're
like
so
this is
we're
playing
so
out to the
far.
point where they're trying to
The
delete
boys
all
give
superheroes.
themselves powers. All the boys have power. First of all, half the boys already had powers, and
Got
then
it.
they gave
Okay.
themselves full time like actual powers.
Hmm.
And then the plan was that Butcher was going to kill all soups, including the boys.
Okay.
And also, Black Noir was a clone of. There's so many things. Like, they went so far off from the comics after season 2
Yeah.
that I was like, they're doing their own thing. There's not even reason to look at the comics anymore. Like, read them, they're fun. They're
Yeah.
insane, he's stupid, but they're fun. Um, but we end that season. Homelander's in charge. The boys are scattered or like imprisoned or whatever.
Yeah.
Uh, the events
Starlight's on the run. Yeah.
Starlight's in the run. The events of Gen V season 2 happen. We find out that Godalkin injected himself with V1, the original V, of
Yep.
which there are only a handful of people who've had V1. It was Soldier Boy, um, Godalkin, because he was the one who didn't die from it,
Agree.
and the Nazi chick, Stormfront, Stormfront,
Storm Stormfront and
Stormfront. Yeah.
what's her name has it too, doesn't she? The Marie as well. I believe
No,
she
she
also
doesn't.
has it.
No, she
So what
doesn't
does
have
she have then?
V1. Project something Texas related.
Okay.
Some like there was a Texas Project Ranchero.
Yeah,
Project.
yeah. Okay.
I don't remember. Again,
Project Unique,
that's
whatever.
not why I watched The Boys. I watched The Boys because dicks explode. Like, I'm not going too deep into this.
That's fair.
Yeah, new studio, in case anyone's wondering. Uh yeah, I gotta say, the thing that excites me the most about this season is the girl in me is excited to see the supernatural re re you know reconvening, where
Yeah.
like everybody from the supernatural is now in the
Is in
season,
the
so
show.
Soldier Boy
Yeah.
is back. I think the plan is Homelander's trying to get V1 out of his dad,
Yep.
and I can't picture why that would work, but that seems like it's the plan.
Yep.
And everybody else is just doing their own thing. Everybody else is going wild, right?
They're like trying to stop him from getting because I
Well,
mean they know
like
what he's
the
getting,
boys
but
are
they're trying
split
to
up. What's his name
yeah.
is still trying to make the virus that kills all soups. Period. End of
Mm.
discussion.
Yep.
Butcher with the doctor.
Yep.
Starlight is just recruiting some people, and like they've really
Yep.
set it up that like once Homelander is dead, the problem is gone, which it isn't.
It's not
It
right.
it decidedly is not. Like Butcher is closer to right.
Yeah,
Finding one that neutralizes Gen V in its entirety is
Butcher's
probably the
essentially
first step.
becoming Butcher's essentially becoming the new villain. Like it's no like essentially
Yeah,
what I'm starting to see is that Butcher is about to usurp Homelander as the main villain
yeah,
of the Boys universe. That's it.
yeah. That makes sense to me. And what I'm excited for is Kimiko is talking. I remember
Yeah,
Kimiko. I love
yeah,
Kimiko.
he's great.
Kimiko is talking now because in that one moment at the end of last season when she was like, no, because
No,
Frenchie got mind
Reggie,
controlled or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
Which is wild that like Frenchie gets mind controlled and then we get into Gen V season 2 and her power doesn't work because she got bashed in the skull. So she
yeah,
tells a guy to like give them the keys and fuck off. And then he
yeah.
just goes has sex with a garden gnome. See, this is why I watch The Boys because
Because of the
in my heart
ridiculous not
I'm
crap that they do.
13
Yeah.
years old and that brings joy to me to be like, haha, he's having sex with a lawn gnome. Anyway, what other dumb stuff is happening? But like, am I? Do I think this is going to be the greatest series finale of all time? No. Do I think there's going to be a lot of exploding dicks? Yeah, yeah, I hope so.
Some's a given at this point.
Remember when you were like we were talking about the orgy in Peacemaker season 2?
Yeah, which was
And then like
I don't even want to remember
in The
that.
Boys, there was also an orgy, but they were not done the same.
Right.
This is the same reason. Like it like was that gratuitous? Well,
Yes.
that depends on what you think gratuitous means. Do you mean gratuitous meaning excessive to the point of not necessary? Okay,
Yeah.
sure. Do you think gratuitous just means not necessary, but there because of whatever? Then that's a different definition that you may have in your mind. So, like, one of
It's
them,
more acceptable in one because the one that they've already established themselves as being
stupid.
yeah, like it makes
And
zero
it
sense
made sense
whatsoever
within the confines of the story of
of
like
the
a whole
actual
bunch of
story.
superpowered people
Yeah.
are getting together and letting loose with their superpower fucking because it's really
Yeah.
hard for superpowered people to fuck not superpowered people. They've
Yeah.
established that. That's also another scene from The Boys that I think about and it brings my heart joy. When the guy is like, "So I had sex with somebody, and when she
Oh
had an
yeah. Oh
orgasm, she broke my dick off." And,
yeah.
and Butcher's just like,
That way you know.
Christ, you ain't got no dick. I'm like, this is great because it's stupid. And when your brain is telling you what you're watching is stupid, you don't worry about things like, well, that doesn't make sense. Because you're like, this is stupid. I don't care.
This is already done. All right.
This is
That's
dumb
correct.
shit. So I'm excited for The Boys to come back. I'm excited for it to be done. I don't need any more. I don't want any spin-offs. Things have to fucking end.
Yeah.
I'm good with it ending, and then let these guys do something else because they're great actors, all of them, and they're not getting younger. So like, get them while they're hot. At least
Yeah.
that's all I got to say about The Boys.
Yeah, I mean, at some point in time, all good things must come to an end, and I think if done, this is my biggest fear about the boys. We have just seen a lot of shows not end well. I've
Yeah,
seen the backlash or the sentiment. I won't call it backlash. The sentiment of the audience that have watched Stranger Things. I've seen the sentiments of things like Game of Thrones. Obviously, I'm naming off some of the big headliners. I am always concerned about shows ending in a way that is satisfying enough for the audience. So, as far as I'm concerned, I am not entirely convinced this is going to be a good season. I don't think anybody is, right? But I'm going in more cautious than I usually am with anything, with any sort of like finale, right? Or final season. Um my own solace is just like, hey, we still have Gen V, right? So if this tanks, then at least maybe we'll have that in the future to look
I
forward
could do
to.
one more season of Gen V as like a cleanup season. That's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Like
uh,
that's like basically my thing. Because my thing is this, like, how you've built this guy up to be such an absolute menace. How do
irredeemable
you
menace.
exactly
Irredeemable menace. Like
correct?
when you make the decision to make your bad guy irredeemable,
Mhm.
it's it.
Yeah.
Over. So
So the only way that this ends in a satisfying way is if he dies. Like there's to me, there's only way that it ends in that's the only satisfying ending. If
yeah.
there is still some idea that he's still out there, he still has a chance to come back, that's not going to be good enough for me personally. I know y'all might feel differently, but that's just me personally. I'm like,
Then you'd be wrong.
this is this is not rewarding enough. If he does not die, and if he doesn't die brutally, like if it's one of those he sacrifices himself or whatever, no, like there's no possible way. And
The only
everything that
one
they've
who
done so far would lead me to believe that they will do that. But also, I believe that there are times where there is enough people in the room where they say, well, that's too predictable. No, sometimes it's okay to be predictable.
Butcher needs to die, Homelander needs to be completely depowered. What happens after that? I don't care. It doesn't like
I say death.
he needs to
He has
be
to die.
permanent. I don't think he needs to die. I think he can kill himself. That's fine. Like if that's what he because that's probably what he would do if he ever became a regular person, right? Butcher needs to
Okay.
die. Yeah.
See, I'm okay with him not though. And the reason why I'm okay with him not dying is because let my brain
Irredeemable.
believe let my brain believe now that, oh, this is not fully over. And let me wonder about what are they gonna do now to stop him? Even though I know that there's not gonna be another season coming, it just kind of leaves enough of a cliffhanger to me to be like, oh wow, like that they didn't stop him either. Like he became the
Yeah.
villain. You know,
Yeah, but
you
that's
get
what
what
I'm
I'm
saying.
saying?
I think Butcher needs to die. I don't care if he dies like change of heart, heroic sacrifice, Darth Vader throwing Palpatine off. You know, you don't get that reference. Everyone else
I
knows
do
what
now. I'm like, I
that is.
went over my head.
Like I don't care if Butcher comes to his senses and then dies sacrificing himself to save everything. Like that's fine. But like Butcher's crossed the line and like he chose it now. Like we know he
Yeah,
chose it.
that's fair. Yeah.
You know, like it's not like Butcher is is being under control of something else.
Yeah. Okay.
Comment: not interested in more nihilistic heroes anymore. Personally, I think everything has to end, and I think that my patience is wearing thin on the concept because everything is novel until it's not. Wicked, Wicked, the story of Wicked, which was a dramatic retelling of the story of Frank Baum's Wizard of Oz, not the one we saw, but the book,
Yeah.
was a retelling from the perspective of the witch to attempt to humanize her as a person. Because from the Wizard of Oz, the Wicked Witch was the Wicked Witch. Nobody is just evil. Like, nobody is just bad. That doesn't exist. That is a childlike mentality that needs people, too many people believe still is real. Nobody is just bad. There is a reason why people are bad. Sometimes the reason is not reasonable. It's an unreasonable reason because they're insane or they were beaten. You know, that hurt people thing. Like there has to be a reason. It's never a justification, but I have to understand how you go from X to Y. I need to know how a person goes from where they are to what happens. And yes, if superpowers existed, The Boys tells an interesting story about what that could look like. Not what it would look like. Not what it will look like if it happens in the future, what it could look like if, it's revisionist history. What
Yeah.
happened if World War II? What happened if the super soldier serum, was actually this? So I appreciate anything that's novel, but as with all things, it's only novel when it's there, and then it's the more you try to harp on it, the less it becomes novel. I need my villains to have a reason. I don't need that reason to be insane. I Not every villain is sympathetic. I don't need to feel bad for all the villains. I don't expect every bad guy in every story to end up having an arc like Loki. Sometimes they're a Bond villain and need to get shot in the fucking face. Like
Yeah,
there's
you
no
look
other way to say it.
you look
Like,
at the Guardians of the Galaxy villain, the last movie, right? Like High Evolutionary, that was a pure and through villain.
and you can see that the reason, but you saw the path of villainy, the
Yep.
path of what turned him from scientist to villain was megalomania, like the idea of becoming a god that remained unchecked. He had
Yep.
no power. The high evolutionary was surrounded by guards.
Yep.
Like, you know what I mean? Like Adam Warlock should have been able to beat him. He was genetically programmed that the high evolutionary, like he programmed that weakness into people to be able to manipulate them.
Yep.
And I don't know how we're talking about Guardians 3, but we got there, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Go
but
ahead.
his his
It was a segue.
we saw
Nihilistic
how
heroes that we
we saw his journey. Like we
yeah.
saw what he did, what he was trying to do, why he was trying to do it, and then we saw the fall. Right?
Right.
Noble intentions, noble intentions, noble intentions, crazy son of a bitch.
Yep.
This wasn't Game of Thrones season 8, like you said, where it's like breaker of chains, freer of slaves, mother of dragons, three other things. I'm burning it down, bitches. And then the copium of like, well, she's the Mad King's daughter. Like,
Mm,
yeah. And she did everything for 7 seasons to stop being that. And
yep.
then they ran out of things to do, so she just went mad.
Yep. And that's always, like I said, that what frustrates me. It's the what becomes like the antithesis of the main character or one of the main characters where they completely go the opposite direction of the entire arc that they have been building throughout the entire. I know a lot of you guys probably didn't watch Power, right? But Ghost was, you watch Power? Okay, so you know what I'm talking about then. Like Ghost was incredibly cerebral. There was a purpose behind what he was doing. It was the story of, you know, gangster, turned into businessman. And then in the final season, he started going all gangster again. And you just like, he was trying to run away from this life. Like this is the life that he was trying to get out of. And all of a sudden now he's going back to doing some of the reckless things that let him down the wrong path of the first. Like to me, like when they start to take this 180 from what they've been the entirety of an arc, like that's what I'm concerned about, right? With Homelander. Now the trailer would lead me to believe that this is not the path that they're bringing him on. However, I've seen this happen over and over again. So why would I believe that this would be different? The trailer could just show me all the nice things that I want to see, that they know that I want to look at. And then when you get into it, the entire thing shifts. So I'm just hoping that they don't all of a sudden turn Homelander into the good guy, right? Like they
No.
found a way to do some sort of a switcheroony. Like obviously at the end of the boys comic, we found out that it was actually Black Noir that was doing all the bad crap. I'm hoping that they're not going to then find some sort of particular way to make it be like, well, he was being controlled or something. But you know what I mean? Like, I just hope that they're not going that direction. Because then it's like, well, damn, like that was a waste of 5 seasons.
No, I don't know what they're gonna do, but if I had to guess how the series is going to end, it's going to be the doctor creates the murder every soup virus, and when combined directly with with the V that's in Soldier Boy's body, because remember, Soldier Boy burns V out of people.
Yep.
That's his thing.
Yep.
Some combination of those two things are going to happen. There are going to be no more. Compound V is going to be eradicated off the planet. Everyone's going to be depowered, and that process is going to happen inside of Butcher's cancer demon. Like, it's easy. Like, he's going to get hit with the ultimate nullifier, Galactus's eye beam, and Franklin Richards' diaper water. And all three of those things combined are gonna just like create an airborne virus that kills Compound V.
Yeah.
And nobody's gonna have powers anymore. And everyone's gonna go right back to just being like, what always bothered me the most in The Boys. And again, I was also like, I don't think this is how the world would react. And then I'm watching the world react to things that are happening now, and I'm like, never mind.
Yeah.
I was wrong.
You were wrong, yeah.
I was like, no, if a company was found to be lying to not just people, but to everyone about the nature of superheroes, right?
Yeah.
And not just like a whistleblower, like legitimately was found to do this. My original thought was sorry, I'm reading that comment.
No, what TLC said, I'm actually okay with. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
100% okay with that. Like, that would be a great ending.
My original thought was, oh, Vaughn is bankrupt now. They, like Umbrella in Resident Evil, like, oh, they're gone. There will not be another Vaughn because this is a company destroying revelation. Like, the government will shut them down. Like, the government will seize control of Compound V because that's what the government would do. In this situation, like, oh, you have this incredibly, like, we're just going to send the military into your compound and kill all your executives and take this because America can actually do that. We've proven it recently. We can just do it. But, like, that's something like eminent. We could just be like, no, we're nationalizing your company. And, like, oh, okay, fuck. Like, that's just, like, the only way to stop it is by using soups to fight the American government. And everything got wild. Because to me, the funniest part of the last season, I think it was the last season? Yeah, the last season. Was like Victoria Newman was talking to a bunch of rich, powerful people who weren't soups. And I was like, no, this is the disconnect I have. Everyone who is rich would have superpowers. Or they wouldn't be rich, but people with superpowers would be. Like, are you kidding me? There are some heroes that, like, could sit solo armies. A-Train, the most inconsistent use of powers the entire show. Like, that dude goes, like, he has to read the script all the time. He's like, okay, so I'm fast enough to do this, but I'm not fast enough to do that.
So put a pin in that for a second. This is the problem with speedsters in general, right? Like this there's a speedster
Tread
problem.
lightly here. I love the Flash.
There's a massive speedster problem. It is constant. today, I am as fast or I'm faster. No, I'm faster than the speed of light, whatever the case is, right? But
Sure.
somehow I am not fast enough on ground to beat Superman. You know
No,
what I'm talking about.
Superman can't beat any speedster. It's well known.
No, but what I'm saying is we saw that. Well, then again, I guess we should anything that Snyder made movie wise in the DC universe, we probably should eliminate from our
Anything Zack
brains
Snyder
out
has
of
made should be
out
watched
of.
the way it was intended to be. When you're a 15-year-old boy who just discovered what your penis can do. That is that is all that is Zack Snyder's, like,
Essentially,
his everything is like, wow, if I touch it, it feels good. That feeling is what Zack Snyder tries to capture in everything he's ever done.
there seems to
300,
always
Sucker Punch, whatever
he did
Rebel Moon
300.
fucking
What 300 was him? That's interesting.
Yeah.
The actual biblical story of 300 is interesting in general, and that was not a correct. I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole, but the
The
story of
parts of
Gideon
it
did
that
not
were
go that way.
accurate were not accurate enough to justify the
Yeah,
parts of it that were viciously inaccurate. I
correct.
also, my favorite thing about that movie was Xerxes. When I saw that movie in high school, me and my friends are like, we are obsessed with Xerxes. Like, just this 9 foot tall, thin guy who had a voice like this. I was like, this guy's the best. We were like, we need a ring that goes from our nose to our ears. We're all cosplaying Xerxes. Are you insane?
I'm
Xerxes is
sorry.
the greatest thing to ever happen.
I'm just not reading TLC's last comment. Um,
Yeah, that would
incredible,
happen.
incredible. But yeah, there seems to always there's powers that are always inconsistent. Mind control and speedsters. Like it's always inconsistent every single
I
time.
can mind
But
Yeah, they always give them headaches or nosebleeds. That's
yeah.
not like you can mind control. Oh, pass out. Jean Grey, Jean Grey and Storm. I swear to God, the the inkers for X-Men '97
Yeah.
were just like, no, I can make my woman more dramatic when she's falling. Like, no, I can make my woman more. Oh,
Yeah.
I used
It's
all of
phenomenal.
my mind. What did you
Yeah.
do?
So
I convinced one person to not shoot a puppy. Did you think they were going to shoot a puppy? Well, they didn't, so I won, and now I'm tired. I'm sleepy. I'm so exhausted from thinking. It's fucking garbage. Where Professor X will be plugged in. It's Jean Grey too, because Professor X will just be like, "What just happened? This entire city now thinks they're babies. Everyone in the
yeah.
city, except the babies, they think they're billion-dollar CEOs. Like,
All is right in the world.
why?
Yeah.
Where'd you do that? From my chair. Did you have Cerebro on? I don't need Cerebro for that.
No.
I need
No.
Cerebro to not do that to everybody. Are you
Yeah,
kidding
exactly.
me? Like,
That is the power of
yeah,
3.
dude. So,
The
so
X-Men
fit,
Jean Grey population. Oh my god. But continue.
to
Please
put
continue.
to put the end note on the boys. I enjoy the boys. It's a good show. I'm happy it's ending. I hope it ends well, and I'm done with it. Like, let's move. If you want to tell a story about what the world would be like if superheroes were real, you now cannot tell that version of the story. You have to do something different. There was a couple of shows that have done that. There was a show, this is gonna fuck you up, called Powers, Powers, that was on the PlayStation Network, and that show had a pretty interesting uh take on what it would be like if there were people, individuals with superpowers.
Okay.
2 or 3 seasons, I think. Not great. But you have to do something interesting. It can't just be like the core concept of power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely does work to some extent. So that's why you need a balancing force to that. Or else why are we I don't care.
Yeah.
That's my last thought on the boys.
All right, so let's segue. Let's talk about some MCU. I guess. Well, it's not just MCU; it's Sony crap, right? As well. So there's some updates that are stated that a movie, by the way, that is coming out on July 31st. It's finally supposed to be getting a trailer this month,
Oh.
and
Oh, what movie is that?
that is Spider-Man Brand New Day. By the way, shout out to Tom Holland, who I'm assuming no longer has the last name Holland. He just goes by Tom now. That he's married to the
Yep.
Zendaya.
What
Congratulations.
is Zendaya's
Congrat-
last name? It's like Wilson or
exactly.
something, right?
Exactly. No, it's Zendaya. That's all it is. It's just Zendaya. So
Now I need
now
to know.
we would just officially just call him Tom. He's Tom now. That's it. That's all it is. But yeah, so we're supposed to be getting a trailer coming out sometime this month. What is it?
Zendaya Marie Stormare Coleman.
I understand why she just goes by Zendaya because that's an
Yep.
incredibly long name.
None of those
Like
names are spelt the way you
which
think.
which last name do you go? Which name do you say is my last name after all that? I guess the last
Holland.
one, but I guess it would be the last name potentially. Um, but yeah, so there was supposed to be like a trailer coming out this month. Now there was already a leaked one that came out back in December
Yeah.
already.
Yep.
So and in December one, I think we've already basically seen or it's been alluded to a lot of the characters that are already in it. We already knew that Punisher was going to be in it. There is Hulk that's supposed to be in it. Not, I don't think it's Joe Fixit Hulk though. It's just a Gray Hulk, whatever kind of Gray Hulk that is. Scorpion, Tombstone, and then really everybody's just trying to figure out who the heck Sadie Sink is playing. Like that's really kind of the whole crux of it. I don't think that we're gonna get much of an actual answer as to
I don't
what
think she's
character
playing
she's
Jean
playing.
Grey. I'll tell you
I don't
that.
think
I don't
so
think she's
either.
playing
I
Jean Grey. I
I
don't
don't
think
think so
they'd hide
either.
that. I don't think they
You don't
would. I
think
don't think they would
you
hide
don't
it.
think that they would
I
keep
don't.
that close to the vest a little bit?
No, no. They need every fucking gun in the fucking chamber right now. I think they'd be like, "Who's Sadie Sink?" I think they would have hit it like for the first week or two, but after like anything happened, I think they would have mentioned like she's playing Jean. I don't think she's playing Jean Grey. I
I
don't
might
know
be a
who
little
she's playing. I'm
might be a little
presenting
naive.
absolutely no
Yeah.
comparison. I just don't think she's playing Jean Grey.
I might be a little bit naive on this, but isn't she a little young to play Jean Grey? Unless they're really going with an incredibly young X-Men cast. But isn't she a little bit on the younger side to be playing Jean Grey
We don't know
too?
what they're
It's
doing.
another thing.
We don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. I mean, they gotta know what they're doing. They got Doomsday's coming out in 9 months. They
Dude,
need to know what they're
nothing in
doing.
the world has ever died like the Doomsday hype.
Well, here's the thing: they killed
Oh
their
my
own
god,
hype,
trailer! Oh my god, trailer! Oh my god, trailer! Oh my god! Brrr, silence. No one talking about it.
and then yeah, and then they didn't help themselves by not coming out with anything, which was the rumor that they would at least have something. This was a
In the
colossal
Super Bowl.
mistake by them, by the way. Like the Super Bowl, they had nothing come out during the Super Bowl. It wasn't there. Spider Man is coming this month, so there was no Spider Man. They didn't drop a Daredevil thing. They didn't drop, shoot. There's supposed to be a Punisher special coming out this year, right? Like nothing on that as of yet. There's Division, like there's nothing. They dropped nothing that entire, and neither did DC either, right? Because I don't think DC did. They drop something. They dropped something on Supergirl, so I might have been wrong about that. But it seems like a lot of them kind of just like pulled out of that Super Bowl slot, which is a little unique because I believe last year there was at least one or two things. Yeah, so she's 23 in real life, which doesn't necessarily always mean anything on screen, but I just feel like she's kind of on the younger side to play Jean Grey, unless they're going with a really young cast, which I just don't think would be sort of the norm for them, unless they're going the route of X-Men are just being introduced into the MCU, which not sure what just happened to that,
Oh,
but
don't worry.
well, okay. I'm not entirely sure what that means for the sake of this could all be a moot point, right? Like at the end of the day, they're supposed to be doing a soft reset after it anyways, so it probably doesn't really fully matter. But it's just I'm curious about that.
Yeah.
So the point is, like, they're supposed to be dropping a trailer this month. Like, what is like our expectation level when it comes to the Spider-Man Brand New Day at this point? Number one, like it's not really adapting the comic, I would think, from Brand New Day, because Brand New Day was the aftermath in the comics of like One More Day, right? Which was basically like where everybody forgets who Spider-Man is,
Mhm.
including like Aunt May, whatever, blah blah blah. They reset the whole marriage thing. Spider Man is broke. So I mean, from that perspective, there is some context there. Like there's some things that are similar, but it's really it's entirety a brand new story within itself. So it's like, what does this set up? Is my question. Like, what this Spider Man Brand New Day is supposed to set up?
Nothing. It's just going to be a Spider-Man movie. We're all going to watch it. Spider-Man movie. Spider-Man movie with the
It,
Punisher. There are people out there that don't think Daredevil's in that movie.
do you think Daredevil's in that movie?
I there's no way he isn't. Th-
Why do you say that there's no way that he's not?
There's no way. There's no way that whatever happens at the end of Daredevil season 2, which starts in like 4 days, no, 4 weeks, uh, is gonna wrap everything up so neatly and tightly that there won't be a scenario in which Peter Parker will run into Daredevil. There's no way he's not. There's no way they're like, we got Punisher in this, but not Daredevil. Like, no, absolutely not. Insanity. Insanity to say that. Insanity to believe the people saying there's rules that prevent that from happening with streaming and stuff. It's insane. It's true insanity.
Rules?
If
What
you say that
rules?
Kingpin's not in it,
What
that's fine.
what rules are you talking about? What rules have people
Kingpin
been saying?
and the
Oh, you mean
actors who
Kingpin?
play
Okay.
the actor who plays Kingpin and Charlie Cox, one, they both were like, we're not in this movie. And two, they're like, we can't be in the movie because of the contracts and this and that. And they were giving like the most like answers. And I'm like, no, bullshit. Absolutely not. Daredevil's in this movie. Yeah, okay, so that's why Daredevil wasn't in Brand New Day, the whatever the last one was.
The
No
last
Way Home. Like, yeah, like,
No
no,
Way
he was in
Home.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Charlie Cox is gonna be in that movie. Maybe he won't be Daredevil. Charlie Cox is gonna be in it. As Matt Murdock. Like 100%. Like you
I
can't
can
convince me
see that,
otherwise.
but I could also see where it doesn't happen. You know what I mean? Because like,
Yeah.
what in the story would lead you to need Charlie Cox in that movie? That's another thing too. Like, I guess we'll see based on the trailer, but I don't
Well,
think.
from the trailer, the leak trailer that came out, the problem is for the last 4 years,
Mhm.
this is taking place 4 years after the events of Spider-Man, um,
No Way Home.
No Way Home, which I'm not sure how I feel about that, but I can get into that later as we find out more and more. We'll save that for the actual trailer conversation. But what actually is said, 4 years have passed. Spider-Man has been doing stuff for 4 years. My assumption is that the opening 2 minutes is going to be like that flashback scene from Fantastic Four, where there's just like recaps of him
Oh,
doing a
it's
whole
just
bunch of stuff.
like a 2 to 3 minute
Yeah,
montage.
like I've been beating up bad guys all over the place. And the idea that I've been like that has been heavily implied is that crime in New York is 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 through the roof. I think was the idea. Like there's so much crime in the desert of New York City that like Punisher is super active. The Hand is there. Like everything Daredevil-esque has been happening over the last 4 years. universe. As a result, we're here. This is what Spider-Man's doing. He's, I guess he got his GED, right? That's nice that he got his GED because he was studying
I think
for it in
yeah.
the movie. At this point he's graduated college, but probably not because it's Peter Parker and he misses every class.
Yeah. Fighting
Um,
crime.
yeah,
He doesn't have any Aunt May to worry about at home anymore, I guess.
he ain't got nobody.
He
Nobody
ain't got
knows who
nobody to
he
worry about.
is.
Nobody knows
He
who he
doesn't
is.
have a social.
He's
He
completely
doesn't have a
anonymous.
social security
No
number.
name, social
Doctor
life, no recognition,
Strange,
nothing.
yeah, except two people
Yeah.
apparently. Whoever Sadie Sink's character is playing,
Yep.
because she has the most forced line I've ever heard.
Right.
Stay out of my way, Peter Parker. Or I don't even remember it. This is how dumb it was. Or you'll
It's,
wish your friends will be the only people who don't remember you. Or so like what is
uh, who cares?
yeah, I was like, all right, Sadie, calm down. Calm down. Cut that. That was a Sony line. That was a my mother was researching spiders in the
Yeah, sure. Um,
but it's gonna be good. You know it's gonna be good.
no,
Spider-Man
so
movie.
here's my thing. I completely am expecting this to be off the chain. Like I
Yeah.
really am. Like I'm going in with the mentality that like I'm gonna have fun. However, once again, there's always gonna be that little thing in the back of my mind where I'm like, does this lead to anything? Do we get anything from this?
No.
You know what I mean? Do
No.
we get anything from this?
Uh
And
I think the end
other than pure entertainment and the love of seeing
I
Tom Holland as
think
Spider Man.
the end of this movie, either directly or through a series of post-credit nonsense, but I'm pretty sure the end of this movie is going to establish what the space crisis is.
Okay.
Because the space crisis, which is the one of two dangling threads we've had for Doomsday from the Thunderbolts, is it's that we have this space crisis. That's all she said. We have this space crisis. And that's it. So, and they're in New York, and Spider-Man's in New York. So I I would be less surprised. I think this movie's gonna have a fuck ton of cameos. I really do. I think this movie is gonna have like at the barest of minimum, David Harbour ain't doing anything. He's gonna show up as Red Guardian and be like, "It's the Spider-Man. Yes, compose with Red Guardian." You know, like some bullshit.
Yeah.
Um, he might stick to the side of Avengers Tower, and like we might get a scene of what's his name, Sentry, just kind of like, I just cleaned those windows, like
Wiping the windows.
yeah, Yelena just pouring hot sauce. Bucky sees Spider-Man. He goes like, "Not again. Not today. Not doing that."
Is this also supposed to be? This might be a reach. Is this all supposed to be setting up Miles as well coming into the MCU? There was a
Well,
rumor about that a while ago, right?
yeah, but like that. I don't know who started that rumor, but it wasn't any person who was making decisions.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like this, it did that rumor did not come from somebody whose check is signed by Marvel Studios. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I mean
no, Miles A.
the true person that I would want to see. You already know who this is already, like in a Spider-Man movie because it's a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah,
Is
Morbius.
not quite Morbius.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
give me Norman Osborn, but of course, that's probably never happening until after they
We
reboot.
can't have Norman Osborn because they shit on that. Because he's like, I
Yeah, they've
went to
already
my
ruined
house
it. Yeah.
because like there is no Norman Osborn because
Hmm.
there is no Oscorp.
Yep.
Like so there can't be a Norman Osborn.
Unless they reset, unless it's after the reset.
Yeah,
That's the
which
only
is
thing.
not going to
Only time
happen
they
in
can do it.
this movie.
Yeah, it's not.
So this movie is just kind of a big fluffer nutter last hurrah story of like
Yeah,
the
of the
last
multiverse
Spider-Man
saga.
movie. This is also
Yeah,
probably the last time. Not necessarily the last. This is the last time I think Tom Holland's going to be Spider-Man in a Spider-Man.
yeah,
Like he'll be Spider-Man in some other bullshit.
like Avenger stuff.
Yeah, like Doomsday and Secret Wars. Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah,
But like I think this is the last Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. I think he's like, I don't want to do this. I think he said I don't want to be Spider-Man when I'm 30. And I'm like, well, first of all, you still can.
right.
Right? You're not bad. You're not a bad Spider-Man, dude. Like you're pretty good.
How
As
old
both
was
Peter
Andrew
Parker.
Garfield when he became Spider-Man? I'm trying to
How old
remember
was
when he
he when
played.
he was it was 28, 29 or something?
Because he was close though. He's close to 30. Because he's 42 now.
Yeah.
When did that movie come? When did his movie come out? 2021, 2014. Not bad. No, 2012. The first movie was 2012. The second one was
That's
2014.
14 years ago.
Yeah.
So he's
So
how old is he now, you said?
he's 42. So no, you were right. Like he was,
Yeah.
yeah, 28. Um,
I think Garfield
I
can still do it. I think he's a good, but I don't like why. We're reboot everything. Reboot everything. I want
yeah.
everything rebooted. There's only 3 people who I do not want rebooted at the end of this. I want specifically Agatha Harkness to be. Yeah, we're going deep on this one. I want I want beyond a shadow of a doubt. I want Mephisto to stay the same.
Oh man.
I want I want him as Mephisto for the rest of my life. And
It's
and and
at some point in time you must say it's nice.
Ryan
It's a good
Reynolds can
deal.
be Deadpool for until he doesn't want to anymore.
That's
These are
fair.
the 3 people. Sorry, I have 4 fingers up because I'm holding a cigarette. These are the 3 casts that I'm like, do not reboot. Every other character reboot. Give me white Nick Fury. I don't give a shit. Like it doesn't matter. Like I do not care. Recast every single fucking person. Bring the other guys back as cameos, however you resolve Secret Wars. I don't care. When the first movie after Secret Wars hits, I better not recognize any of these fucks from another Marvel movie unless it was Secret Wars. Like unless it was
You have
introducing in Secret
so
Wars.
much love. You have
Yeah,
so much
I
love for
know. I
them.
just the first decade of Marvel was a great attempt to be a cinematic experience, and it was profitable and
Yeah.
useful. And the second decade of Marvel has been sweaty cow pus. Like I cannot describe the movies I liked and the TV shows I like versus the movies and TV shows I hated, all together combined to I don't know or care what was happening. And only now that Doomsday is like, we're bringing everyone fucking back. Why? Because you know these people and they made us money and we're going. Like, oh my God, you guys
Yeah, we
couldn't
we are, we
nail.
talked about this already. What they've done is that they've essentially erased any importance of any of the things that they've done since Endgame. They've erased all of it. It matters not. You know what I mean? Because you're going back to the sequel of Infinity War, the sequel of Endgame. It
We
doesn't make any.
don't need we don't need another Iron Man trilogy. We don't even necessarily need another Iron Man solo movie. There needs to be an Iron Man in the MCU.
Has to be.
We don't need another Steve Rogers origin fucking story.
Right.
But there cannot be Steve
Has to be another
Rogers.
Steve
And I'm saying
Rogers.
Steve Rogers
Yep.
specifically. There
Yep.
cannot be no Steve Rogers in the MCU. Their
You can keep
failure
Sam
was
Wilson as Captain America. He's currently that in the comp. Like, it's fine. It works. Both of them
their
work
their
together. It's
their
fine.
failure was we're not gonna tell comic book stories as in movie form. We're gonna tell movies with comic book fucking stories, and that failure is why Obadiah Stane is dead, is
Yep.
why Malekith is dead, because their short-sightedness was we're never gonna use these guys again. Oh look, Red Skull, what's he doing? Fucking off in space. Okay. Don't ki- if if you want to do comic book deaths, great. They can't count. They have to just be nonsense. You can't get that emotional investment. You killed Quicksilver. Great. It mattered. Kind of. But I would have rather seen more Quicksilver.
Yeah.
Because he's a interesting and compelling character if you choose to tell a story.
Yeah. You aged Steve Rogers. You killed off. Well, I mean, I get what
You
they
don't
were
have to
doing
age him.
there.
No, just Steve Rogers doesn't you anyone can be Captain America, let alone anyone can be Steve Rogers. Okay, who gets to play Captain America for this 5-year period of time? I don't know. What's Stephen Amell's brother doing? Like The Witcher, not for long. No, that was William Shatner's. Never mind. This poor
your three
guy. He never had a
survivors.
chance. He never had a chance.
TLC's three survivors to talk about your survivors. Is our Strange, Peter, and McAvoy. Fassbender, McAvoy. I mean, that makes sense. Let's play this game. If I were to pick my three survivors, Chris
Who do you
Hemsworth
want to see
as Thor. Like
as Thor?
I need
Just
to
Chris
have,
Hemsworth.
I
He's. I
Chris
mean,
Hemsworth as Thor. I just need
yeah,
my
but
Thor.
he can't, right? Like he
I know he can't.
actually because his health.
No, he can't.
Okay.
No, he cannot
Okay.
do it anymore, and
Yeah.
he's done. Like, I know that he's done. But
Yeah.
if you're asking me to live in a fairy tale world,
For
then
sure.
yes, like 100%, it's him. I do think that Benedict Cumberbatch as Strange has been phenomenal, and I
Yeah.
think that they've done him a disservice with the last movie, but I think that they can redeem that, if you ask me. Like, and then after that, man, it's probably just Tom as Spider-Man. I think he's been the perfect combination of all of Andrew Garfield and I still think that there are things that Andrew Garfield has been better at Spider-Man. I think that there are things that Toby has been better at than Spider-Man. But at the same time, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, no, I think I said the same thing. I said the same thing once about Chris Evans as Captain America. You 100% potentially could do better than Chris Evans as Captain America. But why would you even try? Because you already got such a great person to play Steve Rogers. That's how I feel about
Because
Tom.
his story is told.
Yeah.
Now we don't need 120 minutes of somebody pretending to be Steve Rogers. Now we need 13 minutes of someone pretending to be Steve Rogers across a 2-hour movie.
Yeah.
That's got to be a lot easier to cast and a lot cheaper on the line. These characters are established. I get, hey, let's try these new characters. Yeah, but you sucked at making those movies.
Yeah, you did.
So now what are we like? Who do we have?
I'm still pissed off about Ironheart. Like, to this day, to like literally Tuesday, I was ranting about Ironheart. I was like, I cannot believe that you did this to me. Why did you do this to me? You already know how excited I was for this.
The
You already know
AI
how, like,
and the magic can't work together. Go fuck yourself.
yeah, bro. Like, I was just so pissed, man. I'm like, I wanted the series to be good. I wanted it to be good so bad. I really did. And it wasn't, it didn't work for me, man. It didn't work for me because once again, when you have an incredibly intelligent character, you have to have intelligent writing. And they did not have intelligent writing. And it brought it down for me, man. It just absolutely just it failed. It failed. Oh, I can't figure this thing out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, with my 4'7" self, I'm just gonna muscle up this thing and pull it up, and that's how I'm gonna get out of it. Oh, I'm also going to fight a grown man hand to hand combat instead of using my intelligence. I wanted the show to show me how smart she was because that's what she has been established as from the very beginning of her character. And that was not shown in the series. And it pissed
There,
me off. And then you included Magic and
there's a
Mephisto.
line.
What the hell is Mephisto doing in this series?
There's a line in Ironheart that I have intentionally not brought up when we were talking about it. But the line in Ironheart was when she was on top of the a balcony after a crime that she committed.
That's a whole nother. You know what? I'll come back to that. Go ahead.
We'll get there. We'll get there. After a crime she was very happy to commit. She said, "Why can't I just get a good paying job that doesn't mind if I finesse some resources?" I might be paraphrasing, but I don't think I am. And if you think about that sentence, like really think about that sentence. Yo, fuck this bitch. like
uh,
was this written? No, this couldn't have been written. I would say this was written by AI, but even AI would be like, that's AI would think that's racist. So I don't even think AI would write that. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. Yeah.
You got kicked out of MIT. No, she didn't. Like, no, she didn't.
Correct.
Okay.
No, she did not. Oh, then also she now turns to a life of crime. Good. All right. I'm sorry. I'm gonna put my black hat on here because after all I am black.
I'm sorry.
But let me put, you can keep your red one on. but I did find it slightly insulting, if I'm gonna be honest with you, that you had her kicked out of college and
Wouldn't
then
have happened.
had her turn to a freaking life of crime. Thank you for that. That's the stereotype that we desired for this entire show. Thank you for that. No, we didn't.
The entire
what
script was written by Lil Yachty through rap lyrics, through his lyrics. Like, they were just like, perfect. This is exactly.
It reminds me of like Madam Web, where like once again they did it. The Hispanic girl was the one who was talking about being deported, and then you had the African American girl who was the ratchet one. Like it's just she was ready to pop off at any minute. Man, listen, all right, rant over. Rant over.
And it was so funny too, because it's well known that I hate the character of Ironheart.
Like, I could put on a British accent.
Oi, mate, can you? I hate the character of Ironheart in comics. I have never. Not only
she's insufferable in the comics, to be fair.
Not only am I number one most, like, my friend told me to my face, if you don't like Ironheart, you're a racist. And I looked at him dead in his eyes and said, if that's all it takes. Like, if we've been wrong the whole time about racism and all you gotta do is hate this bitch in this comic, Sorry, I don't know what else to say. She sucks. She's smart, but not as smart as she thinks she is. I've said a million times on stream, like foot, she's constantly doing villain ass shit,
She
but
is.
because she's a hero, it doesn't count. They gave her
They kind of have her be too
the
much like Iron Man. That was the problem.
when we saw Dominique Thorne in Wakanda Forever, I was like, okay, okay,
Yeah, I liked
okay.
her in
No,
that.
we're getting okay.
Yeah.
By the way, I think they didn't do a good enough job with Shuri to bring this back. Shuri
Yeah.
is, always has been, and always will be my favorite Black Panther. I'm going back to Marvel Heroes, where she was the skin I used, because Shuri's the dopest Black Panther.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. I don't think they made her smart enough. And by made her smart enough, I mean showing her to be as smart as they is. They were just like, she's smart. She can do
Yep.
this. But they never showed her to be smart. And that one, that I felt bad because I'm like, no, Shuri's fucking insanely smart. Shuri is smart in
The
the
only time
same
that they showed
way.
her as really smart was when they came in Avengers in what it was in Infinity War when they came to Wakanda and she was like, "Hold on, why didn't you do this to
Yeah,
fix
why didn't
whatever
you
was
just
going on with
build
Vision?"
this correctly? And then
Yeah,
the foremost expert in 3 fields on the planet was like, oh fuck, what? We didn't even think we could do that. And she was like, you did your best.
yeah.
And like, and he took it. The
Yeah,
minute, because you saw it, thank God Mark Ruffalo's a good actor because he's a terrible idiot of a human. But like, this dude in that 1 second, he was like, oh shit, that was a great idea. Like, why did you have them not buy non-sequentially? We didn't know you could do that.
could do that. Yeah,
Like, wild.
yeah,
And like, but she was smart, and she is smart. And again, Wakanda Forever happened. But like the version of Riri in that movie was everything that they failed to make her in the comic books. She was smart, she was attentive, she was clever, she was afraid because she knew she
yeah,
was smart, and there's a problem with being smart in Marvel. Someone's aim's gonna come for you. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
they're like,
Right.
hey, do you
Yeah.
want to do some research? What are you researching? Pig testicles. What about them? Can we make them explode? What do you get away from me? Like, Ironheart, I was, you know how excited I was for this Ironheart show.
Yeah, I know.
You know I was excited when they're like, they got the hood. I'm like, the hood? This guy
Yeah.
stole a cloak. This guy's a criminal because he's like, crime is fun. I love the hood. And I
Yeah.
don't think that the actor who played him, God, I forgot his name.
Anthony Ramos.
Anthony Ramos, thank you.
Yeah.
I think he did a great job with it.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, of course he's a criminal. I think there was a middle ground they could have reached between like she was helping him, but she didn't quite know, or she suspected, but she didn't know, and because she didn't know, there was no harm. Nah, she just went straight into crime.
Yeah, 100%.
She tripled down on crime.
Yeah.
She was like, wait, I could use my Ironheart suit to do more crime. Yeah? Nobody knows what that is, right?
Mm-hmm.
This guy has an invisibility cloak. We don't need you. What is you doing? That said, Natalie, loved her to death. Loved the character completely. Actress did great. Character was great. Every aspect of it was great. I was almost gonna say I was sad when she was brought back to life at the end, but I was really just sad that at the end of this movie, this TV show, where they character assassinated Riri Williams somehow harder than I thought possible
Mm-hmm.
for a character I already didn't like and was giving a second chance to. Then they have her go and make The worst possible decision.
Decision. 100%.
Legitimately talking to the devil. Who ain't pretending. He's not like, I'm not that bad. He's like,
Yeah.
I think at one point he says like Dormammu can't lick my asshole.
Yeah. No.
This guy is like
Yeah.
also admits like, no, Parker Robbins, that asshole, I gave him that coat and I fuck with people. It's what I do. But you, I don't want to fuck with you. He's like the most tired snake oil salesman, and people are just throwing their souls at him. Like, here, take it. She's like, no, I just want my friend back. Why didn't you back up the motherfucking AI, you dumb bitch?
Bruh.
My AI agent knows to not use more than 3 syllables when talking to me. I've trained it to be a caveman. Tony hungry. What Tony eat? Tony eat chicken. What chicken? Chick-fil-A. Thank you, chatbot. Grunt.
Yeah.
I have a chatbot specifically trained to talk like a caveman to me. Like,
you must.
She couldn't back up Natalie?
Yeah. Oh, man. I don't know, man. How did we get on this topic? We segued off. What were we talking about before? Spider-Man?
Recast everybody.
Yeah, right. Except for like 2 or 3 people. That's it. Oh, this happened this week too. So Lanterns, did you see that? Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. August comes soon enough. August comes soon
that trailer, bro. I was like, good. James Gunn didn't touch it. That's all I said. I was like, good. He has nothing to do with this. We are getting peak grizzled, tired of this shit. Hal Jordan.
Yep.
We are getting military disciplined, fucking ready
Jon
for
Stewart.
everything. Jon Stewart, right?
Yeah.
We are getting. I'm feeling Atrocitus. I don't know if anybody else is feeling Atrocitus, but the main character's name is Anton, and the bad guy, the one you see, the short one. Yeah. And he's out there and he's saying shit like he's an extraterrestrial trying to get revenge for something. I'm like, man, that sounds awfully Atrocity. I think it's called Lanterns because it ain't about the Green Lanterns. Although I did see the funniest line. It was a no country for old lanterns was the comment I saw in the trailer. I was like, I'll watch that all day.
Oh, crap, man.
Yeah, I don't have anything to say about it other than please don't suck. Please don't suck.
Listen, I love everything about it. I mean, the whole like murder mystery thing. Yep. This is classic Green Lantern core. Like whatever. Like, go ahead, do your thing. Like, I'm good with it. The fact that like Hal is like you said, old, tired, done with life. Like,
but Hal
doesn't want to deal with.
But that's what Hal Jordan is. Hal Jordan got the lantern ring, and the lanterns were like, no. And the ring was like, we don't listen to you.
Yeah.
They're like, we wish you would.
Oh man. No, I'm definitely down down for this.
Excuse me.
I mean, but like, you good. So I'm assuming that Guy Gardner's in this too, right? Because obviously he's a lantern, so I'm assuming that he's probably going to show up.
Sinestro's in it. They have someone billed as Sinestro.
Oh, they do? I didn't really.
They have a cat. Yeah, if you look at the IMDb, they have someone cast to play Sinestro.
Oh, that's dope. Okay, man. So this is the other thing too. It's like remembering what this got to take the stain out of that movie that we seen back. What was that? 2010, 2011. This got to be it. Like, this
when all
bad
guys were clouds. God.
Yeah,
the good old days of the early 20s.
Oh man, that was a good time.
Were you
No,
a bad guy?
I
Cloud.
yeah. I mean, no, this is great, man. Like honestly, it looks really like
What do you mean ignore
just
all Green Lantern lore? What do you mean ignore all Green
who said
Lantern
that?
lore? What do you mean ignore all Green Lantern lore? Hal Jordan trained John Stewart in the comics. Hal Jordan didn't think John Stewart, this is again before John Stewart was retconned to be a Marine, when I think he was a substitute teacher or something. Hal Jordan did not think John Stewart was a good candidate to be Guy Gardner's replacement, because he was going to be Guy's replacement. Because if I remember correctly, and again, this is a part of the time, John Stewart had a very large amount of uh, unaddressed racial hatred in him towards people. Like he was not, because it was a bad time to be black. Like it just was. It was like the 60s. Like it wasn't a great time.
Yeah.
So he had it from his childhood. He just did not like he didn't like white people. And like Hal Jordan was like, if you can't see past that and be a space cop, yeah. But again, this is also a very lived in DC universe. This is 4 years since Superman revealed himself to the public. They share a ring. He's traded for 2 months without touching the ring. We don't know that. They said, "Am I gonna get to use it?" Like he probably just took him. Like the ring chose him. The ring chose him. So I don't know. But again, could be good, could be terrible. We'll find out. I didn't remember that. I think he might have taken the ring away from him. I think he might have said, "You're not ready for the ring." I will say this though, to what TLC is saying. If somebody picked him, but he has to be trained before becoming a lantern, which is not necessarily untrue. Like usually when someone gets the lantern ring, they fuck around for a couple of issues before Oa calls them home, and they're like, "No, come on, like it's time. You gotta do some work." I don't know. I Now that I think about it, what does that have to do with anything? They're aliens. What is? He didn't say he can't understand them. He said they're all aliens. How Jordan doesn't want to talk to aliens?
Yeah,
I think you're nitpicking. I'm
I
seeing
don't
nitpicking here. I'm seeing
yeah, I
nitpicking.
don't
That's all I'm
yeah,
seeing.
I don't remember seeing him saying that he's never talked to him.
And also, fuck Guy Gardner. There's a historic scene in Justice League. There's a historic scene in Justice League where they're talking to both John Stewart and Hal Jordan and trying to replace a new. Was it Justice League or was it Young Justice? I don't remember which one it was. Where they're like, well, we do need another person for the league to fill a slot or something. Isn't there another Green Lantern of Earth guy? And then before they said Gardner, both of them were like, no, no, fuck that guy. Hating Guy Gardner is required in the Green Lantern Corps. Like you have to hate that guy. Can one of you help me with the Guy Gardner moment in comics? I can't remember what comic it was. I looked up and I can't find it, but I remember clearly. Guy was captured by the Yellow Lanterns, and every time they tried to get him to cave and say the Yellow Oath for days until Zhao showed up and released him. Until Hal showed up. I assume. Hal showed up and released him. Oh my god, this screams 90s. This screams. What was before Kyle Rayner? What was the big arc before Kyle Rayner? Oh no. How Jordan is the greatest lantern of all time? Yeah. Until he retired 6 times. Once was to become Parallax. You want to do Green Lantern? You want to do Green Lantern knowledge with me? Kyle Rayner's the greatest Lantern of all time. I will fight you on that. He became Ion. But Hal is canonically, Hal is one of the best. He was the first human to ever become the Green Lantern. Goofy, I don't know if you know this. This is now
Hmm.
I'm talking to you directly. So he was
Nah,
the
this is
first
fine. I'm
human
listening.
to become a Green Lantern, and he is also like at the time the most creative Green Lantern. Like the stuff he would do with the ring, they were like, wait, how could you do that? We just use it to fly and make blocks and shields and stuff. And he's like, spaceships, like rooms, like just a kid in a Lego store. Hal Jordan. Hal Jordan was such a Green Lantern, a good Green Lantern, as well as a good guy, overall, that he became the Spectre for a little bit. Man, they just run out of stuff to do with. Every time they want to do a new Green Lantern, they just go like, how can we put Hal in a terrible situation? I think he's
Hmm.
retired. He's retired as a Lantern, I think, 4 times. He was seduced into becoming the embodiment of fear, Parallax, over time. And then he became the Spec. So yeah, 6 times, whether it was his fault or not, because Hal's a psychopath. It was crazy. So like, I could see a world, because like, what if Carol Ferris got the ring? Carol, and Star Sapphire is neither good nor bad. So like, what if he was in a loving relationship with Carol Ferris, and this is post breakup, and he's just sick and tired of dealing with this. And also Guy Gardner. Like, I could see a world where I say Kyle because Kyle Chandler is the actor who plays it, making this mistake all the time. I could see a world where we're catching Hal on a downswing of just being just fed up with everything. Uh, but I'm interested, and I'm very interested. That said, who knows how long that's going to be? We'll put a pin in that because we have
Yeah.
another thing to talk about regarding that part of the conversation. But I'm excited because I love Green Lantern shit, and we never get good Green Lantern shit ever. So please just
Yeah,
let me
that's
get
fair.
something to watch, please.
All right.
And if it's
All right.
bad, I'll
What?
give TLC a nickel.
What?
I will give him 1 nickel for each of his children. I believe he has one less than you, Goofy.
But that. I mean, fine. I'll allow it. What else we got? We got one more thing that we got to touch on. Right. I'm trying to remember what it was. Is it Daredevil?
Daredevil comes back in
Like
four
2-3
weeks.
weeks?
Four
Is it
weeks.
4 weeks?
March 10th, I think.
March. It got to be March 20 something. 24th?
No, I think it's earlier. Oh, sorry, April 10th. My apologies.
Is it April? That sounds too far.
Nope,
It
March
got to be this
24th.
month.
What's April 10th? Something's April. From.
April.
Never mind. From, which is a show everybody should watch. And
Oh,
nobody
okay.
has MGM Plus, so pirate it.
I know
From is the best show in the world.
Boys comes back the 8th, right? I think the Boys is back the 8th. Boys is
Yes.
the 8th, April 8th.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we got a good strip. By the way, One Piece comes back next week.
One Piece, the only thing I'm willing to watch episodically because I'm rewatching I have friends who haven't seen. My mom and I watched the first season. I tell you
One
this.
Piece.
Yeah, I watch movies with like random bullshit with my mom all the time, and
Yeah,
she watched One Piece and she was like crying. She was like, "This is the best thing that's ever happened."
really.
Yeah, she's like, "I love this shit. This
She
shit rules."
she got really emotional at that part,
She
right?
got super.
Where
Yeah,
Luffy like shifted Nami's
yeah,
hat. Oh yeah, that was a
yeah.
good
The
moment,
hat. She
man.
was done. My mom was done. She was like, and I'm sitting there like, "What's wrong with you, mom? What's going on? What's up over there? I can't see you. It's foggy over here. I don't know what's going on. It's too hot in
That
this
was a
room."
good ass movie. That was a good ass movie, man. I'm not gonna, so no shame in my game. I rewinded that probably about 5 times just to see him do it again and to see her emotions. This is great. This is
Every
absolutely great.
actor does great. The story does great. Everybody gives a shit about it. When
Yeah.
everybody gives a shit about a project, it ends up really good, it turns out. And
What a
also,
surprise.
also, Nami hot. Nami
Yeah.
hot. She's
No
not answering
lies.
my phone call. Like, I'm sending her mail. Maybe I should stop putting fingernails in it that I send, like fingernail clippings.
Potentially that might help, man. That might help.
Could you please sign these? XOXO Tony.
Fair, Jay. Fair. 100%. 100%. I can't say
Ugh.
anything. My wife might be watching the stream.
Yeah, but One Piece coming back.
Yeah.
No spoilers because there's four
Yeah.
trillion episodes.
Yeah,
If you don't
man.
watch One Piece, this is going to be hard to say. It's for families. It's a family. I don't think
Yep.
it's for young children.
Oh no.
I don't think it's.
If you're like 10, 11, 12 and up, maybe.
If you're, I'll put it this way: if you're willing to let your kids watch Disney's live action stuff, you're probably close to being able to let your kids watch One Piece. There is the best way to describe it is it's cartoon violence. Right? Like nobody's like somebody gets their hand cut off, but it doesn't spout blood. They just walk around with like
Yeah.
everybody looks like a Saturday morning cartoon character. Yeah, Netflix season 2 curse. Everyone gets replaced. I always get worried because I have a weird love-hate relationship with Netflix, but not everyone could be Apple TV. Not everybody could pay $200 million and 4 years to make one season of television, which is a different
Tough
problem.
life.
But One Piece, there's no real things to talk about in Daredevil. There was a trailer,
Yeah.
but we don't know anything about this season of Daredevil other than we have no new information, right? About
Yeah.
the season
There
of Daredevil?
really there really isn't anything. There's still speculation out there that we may get one more member of some of the defenders, but that's like
Oh no,
that
we
hasn't
know
really
Jessica
carried
Jones is
much
in
weight.
there.
Yeah.
We pray Mike Coulter is Luke Cage because they set him
Yeah.
up in the last season
Yep.
to be even there for a second. And I do love Mike
I
Coulter.
really personally want to see that arc of him actually becoming mayor of New York as well. Like I really would love to see that happen. So and
I don't think they could do it
there
fast
what
enough.
we this this has no merit whatsoever. But
Oh, then I'm in.
but Desi, this is brown check mark. This is not blue check mark. This is brown check mark. So this information, but when we were at Comic Con, the Rhode Island Comic Con, there was a mention to him when he was at his booth that hey man, we would love to really see you come back and then to do the mayor of New York, sort of like storyline. And he said, stay tuned. So brown check mark once again.
You know I love Luke Cage.
Yeah.
Like
Don't talk to me about season 2. Season 2 was hot garbage, but whatever.
Top 5 favorite comic book characters, not heroes. Luke Cage.
That's Luke Cage for you? Really?
You know this about me.
I feel like I did, but maybe I forgot.
Luke Cage, I picked up a Power Man and my second comic book ever as a child. My first was a Spider-Man comic book. It was a Web of Spider-Man. It was during the Clone Saga, so I'm sorry, everybody.
Okay. So
And
you were there for the visceral hate of Ben Riley. Okay.
yeah, I don't know why. I love that guy. Probably because
People hated him tremendously. But
Seward Trainer. Anyone who gets that reference. Um. So my second comic book ever, because my uncle's best friend owned a comic book store, and when my uncle would pick me up from school because of scenarios that were he'd be like, "Oh, I could pick him up and drop me off at home," I would have him stop by his friends, and I would pick up a comic book, and I picked up a Power Man and Iron Fist comic. And in this comic, Heroes for Hire, I was like, I don't get it. And the guy said, so Luke Cage is an indestructible man,
mm,
and Iron Fist is a white kid who trained in a Shaolin temple.
perfect combination.
And he's a billionaire. And at the time, billionaire was a made up thing. You couldn't be a billionaire. You
Okay,
know, like
fair,
I was
yeah.
like, what's a billionaire? He's like, it's a millionaire twice. And I'm like, that's two millionaires. Like, I'm a kid, right? And he said, so they don't need any money. And I'm like, yeah, but they don't do it for free. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, well, they'll stop something from happening. Like, they're not bad people. They're not going to let
Yeah.
crime happen. But, like, if someone's bothering you, you want to call them up, you can, but
Mhm.
you got to pay them. I'm like, but they have all the money. They're like, it's about the work ethic. And I was like, can I have this?
Great.
So
Yeah.
to this day, I
Great.
still have a Heroes for Hire from 1994 or 1996. I don't remember when. Just in my closet in my my mom's house, and it's just like the first ever Luke Cage guy. I was like, wait, what's his power? Awesome black dude. His entire power. Everything else didn't matter. He was just an awesome
Yeah.
black dude. I was like, this guy's the coolest guy in the fucking world. So I love Luke Cage. I love I love I don't like that they didn't make him money hungry in the Netflix show. I was like, no, but like again, it wasn't about the money. It was about getting paid. It's not the same.
Yeah.
And I
Was
understand that in my heart.
didn't he like beat up Doom or something like that for like $200?
No, no, it's better. And I love telling the story. Thank you for setting it up. No, Dr. Doom hired them to stop a robbery in the
Oh,
Latveria embassy for $200. And they
okay.
accepted it, and they stopped the robbery, and then Dr. Doom welched on the pavement. And then Luke Cage trying to convince Iron Fist, yo, we gotta get paid, son. And Iron Fist is like, nah, it's cool, man. That's Dr. Doom. He's like, nah. Breaks into the Fantastic Four's Baxter building, steals, borrows, he returns it, borrows their Fantastic car, flies into Latveria, crashes into Castle Doomstat. Doom's like, the fuck is going on here? Luke Cage is like, Doom, you motherfucker, you owe me $200. And Doom just stands there, completely awestruck, laughs, and hands him $200. He's like, you earned it, man. I got nothing. See ya. Like, he's like, the preposterousness of this insanity.
Best
The
story ever, man.
like Doom is sitting there like he's looking at his robots, and his robots are like, I have no idea what to tell you, man. I cannot possibly give me my
Wow.
fucking $200. Let me see if I can find
Great.
the clip of it.
This is great. Oh my gosh, this is phenomenal. Wow. Mwah.
Yeah, wait. It doesn't matter. I'm just gonna put this picture up real quick for everybody to see.
Oh my gosh, man.
As soon as I figure out how to do that, it's probably right here. Yep. Yeah, this ain't gonna look pretty.
Oh, by the way, I'm reading that this weekend, whatever it is. I'm pulling up
I
Marvel
think I can put it
Unlimited and I'm going to go
right
read this.
here. This is a picture of Doctor Doom or Doctor Doom getting punched in the chest by Luke Cage. just just Doom should have paid him. I will tell
Oh
you the
man.
exact issue that is too.
I
By
found it.
the
It's
just
well, I don't know the specific issue. I know it's Heroes for Hire issue 8. I don't know if it's issue 8 or if it's
No,
issue
it's
9.
Heroes for Hire issue 8.
Issue 8. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. Steals the Fantastic car, flies it to. Also, please understand, this was not written by a black man. This was written by a white guy trying to talk black. So there's a
Oh,
lot of things in this that do not hold up to the times. Please
okay.
understand. You have to look at it through the lens of this was not okay for the time, but nobody cares.
Yeah.
And when you see it from that perspective, when my men reported a crazy black man in the Fantastic Four craft, I knew it had to be you. Where's my money, honey?
Oh, this is
Yeah.
gonna be great. I'm gonna love this.
Uh, it's
I know what
such
I'm reading
it's
this weekend.
it's a beautiful moment in time. Then the end of the fight after Doctor Doom gets punched to no effect. Keep in mind, he's fine. He goes, "You are the ultimate Cage. I have never seen your like. Here's $200. Take what you say I owe you and go."
Oh, wow.
He
It's
stole a
gonna be a fun
million
weekend.
dollar car to go collect $200 from a despot. Tony, why do you
Ah,
like comic books? Well, because when I was a kid, the coolest thing that ever happened. Unrelated, that's also why I love Doctor Doom.
yeah.
like that like I like Doom more than I like Luke Cage, but it is because of Luke Cage that I like Doctor Doom. There is a it's full circle.
Wow. Was that
Uh
also so that was your first introduction to Doctor Doom as well?
that
So
wasn't the issue I bought.
okay,
No, that was just a different issue.
got you. Okay.
Um but it was like in going back and reading other Heroes for Hire,
Yeah.
I would be like, who's Doctor Doom? Who's the Fantastic Four? Boring. Boring. No interest. Oh, how'd they beat the space god? MacGuffin? I didn't know what MacGuffin meant then. But I was like, oh, just a
Mm,
random thing? Get out of here. So,
yeah. Good times.
only other things to kind of mention. Warner Brothers.
Oh shoot. Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm.
There's something happening here
Yep.
because Netflix was like, Warner Brothers, I'll keep catch everybody up. Warner Brothers is like, hey, who wants our movies? Netflix is like, we do. Paramount was like, we want all of you. And Warner Brothers is like, we don't want to sell
That's what
all
my
of
wife
us.
also said. Sorry.
We want to sell our movies, and we want to keep a couple of things that we have and like rebuild that and then maybe sell that later. Because we can make basically, if we do it right, we could make almost double the money. Paramount's like, we're giving you this much for everything. And Netflix raised their bid, and then Paramount raised their bid. Again, Netflix is still only bidding on a part of it. Paramount tried to hostile takeover, failed. The stockholders, of which I am one, received a tender offer, which is, hey, we'll give you this much for each of your shares. And I was like, no, I want my shares. I don't want to sell them. You can't have them. If the hostile takeover comes out, I have to get paid anyway, so I'm not going to help them. But, whatever. Netflix, so Paramount raises their offer to like, it's a weird technical math number that I only partially understand, so I don't want to say it wrong and be wrong. But they raise it to too much money. Or Paramount does. Netflix goes to the White House. 4 hours later, after a meeting in the White House, Netflix leaves the longest fucking, no, we're good, post I've ever seen in my life. As opposed to just being like, we're good. Netflix leaves this massive post. And it's like, hey, we know what the bid is. We're good. We're not going to raise it. But first of all, I'd like to say good work by everybody at WB. Zaslav, it names every executive in rebuilding your company to a company that was this marketable and this personable. You've done a great job, and I'm sure you'll do great in the future. We look forward to some just like a lot of pleasantries that like they didn't have to say. They got like someone outbid them, and then they had a meeting at the White House, and then that's it. Now, speculations on what that meeting was depending on how tinfoil your hat tends to be. We are not going to approve your bid to do this because whatever reason, or we are not going to approve their bid to do this for whatever reason. And Netflix heard that and said, well, if they're not going to approve their bid, why are we fucking fighting for this? We'll just wait.
Yep.
And I think that's what happened. I think that's my personal belief that Paramount is not going to get the approval for the bid. And then WB is going to fall back to Netflix's bid because it's the best offer and Paramount doesn't only want that. So that's my belief. Could be right, could be wrong, but it's going to be a big deal because at the end of whenever this finishes, which could be years, honestly, could be forever, nobody knows. Warner Brothers, and by extension DC Studios, is going to have a new owner.
Yep.
If that owner is Netflix, I don't know that Sarandos and everybody at Netflix have plans on what to do with Warner Brothers Studios, but remember, that's Harry Potter, that's Mortal Kombat, that's DC, a lot of stuff, a lot of good IPs that Warner Brother has, as well as HBO and Game of Thrones, etc., and all that stuff.
Yep.
So if Netflix gets it, that would put Netflix from the number one streaming service platform to the number one with a bullet. Like Netflix has been, and will probably continue to be the number one streaming platform across the world for all time. There's no way Disney can ever compete with it. Hulu has never even come close to competing with Netflix before. Now it's definitely not, like nobody cares.
Yeah.
Netflix has always been number one in its field. Netflix is, if you look at what Netflix's like company is worth, it is worth nearly as much as like Disney is worth or Apple is worth. Not as much, but nearly as much, and they are much bigger than just movies and TV shows. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
Disney Plus is not what's keeping Disney afloat. You know what I mean? Like that's not what's
Yeah.
happening. So
Hmm.
Paramount, however, if Paramount owns Warner Brothers, it is of less interest to the streaming world because Paramount Plus does not have anything, so nobody gives a shit. Nobody has Paramount
Yep.
Plus. But it is of massive interest uh to the movie production world. And that is why this is a very fascinating thing. Because Netflix might be trying to buy WB so they can have an actual movie studio, so they can do
Yep.
more releases. Paramount already has a movie studio. So it's an issue of, do we have the number one streamer become almost a monopoly on streaming, although it's impossible because there's 9 million streaming services right now, so who cares?
Yep.
Or do we have the number two studio become the number one studio by absorbing the number three studio? The only thing on Paramount Plus is UFC pay per view. Does anyone pay for UFC? Does anyone pay for fights anymore? Wild. We do know. I have to. Sorry, Goof. I'll let you talk in a sec. We do know that right now, wherever you are, you can watch anything you want for free, including us. You don't have to watch ads on Twitch or YouTube. It's not hard. Like it's not like you have to be tech savvy. It's like you have to know what's a virus and what isn't. And once
Yep.
you know what the virus, you're like, oh, that's clearly going to be a virus, then you solve the problem. If Star Trek, Starfleet Academy. Star Trek is a dead franchise. It doesn't exist anymore. Anyway, good, Goof. What are your thoughts on that merger and everything?
Yeah. I mean, the only thing that was really interesting to me, well, that's not true. There's a couple things that were actually interesting to me. So the main
Caught you
thing that I
lying.
thought, yeah, the main thing that I thought about was just like, all right, well, what does this mean for ultimately DC? And what I found a little, I guess, a little bit more disconcerting is if like Paramount takes over and thinking about the relationship between Paramount and James Gunn, something about that relationship is going to go sour. And as a result, I would believe that we could probably see James Gunn either bowing out, but before that happening, some of the content that is created within DC Studios could also underperform more than it would have because I personally am of the belief that James Gunn can be very hit or miss, right? So like there's no in the middle with James Gunn. It's either it's good or it's like great or it's bad. Like that's kind of how I view James Gunn. However, with that being said, does it become more lukewarm now because of the involvement of Paramount? As to where if it's Netflix, I think Netflix is wise enough to say, well, they're not gonna mess with what's working. And that goes across the board for not just James Gunn, DC Studios, it goes across the board for everything, right? The other concern is I would be curious what this would do to the movie going world. It's already not going well for movie theaters. There's a lot of movie theaters shutting down. As a matter of fact, there's like a movie theater shutting down that's like very close to my house. I think in like a couple months or so. So for me personally, I'm also like just fascinated by that aspect of the story because I'm like, it's not going to be an immediate effect. It's just going to be something that's going to be like a trickle down, and it's already happening. But would this contribute to the acceleration of that? Is sort of like my curiosity. Like I'll just be like really curious about that. So with all that being said, this is a bunch of business bullcrap that's ultimately happening at the same time. Like it's like,
It's
does
just
it matter? It
people
does,
who
but
don't
it
know how to make money, but are in
yeah,
charge of the money making machine.
right.
Someone said, I think it was Ryan Airy or Colton Ogburns of Screen Crush said it.
He
You
spoke and
can
said
make
something that was
any
valuable.
number.
Okay.
You can make any number of Spider-Man movies, and it does not matter. Spider-Man will print money for the rest of time.
Yep.
Like you could make a Spider-Man movie where Spider-Man Miles Morales movie done made money. You could make Spider-Man, but it's uh with real spiders. People are like, "Fuck, it, let's go see it." Like Spider-Man is an infinite money glitch in the real world. It
Yep.
doesn't matter how like Sony doesn't understand that it's not their movies and not Spider-Man related movies. It's specifically fucking Spider-Man.
Spider
They
Man.
do
Yep.
kind of know that, so they keep trying to be like, no, see, Spider-Man's related to this.
Yeah.
Which
But not in a way that matters, clearly.
I think they should have just gotten Andrew Garfield to come back, play Spider-Man as Spider-Man in those movies, and call it a day. And if they couldn't get that deal out, they could have got that deal out. Like they could have made that clear. They could have been like, there's the Spider-Man movies that are MCU, and then there's the Sony movies which are not MCU, but they're tangentially related for some nonsense.
Yep.
Uh it's all business bullshit. And it's like
Yep.
again, I just don't trust people to make good business decisions because they're doing Moneyball now. Every for the last 15 years everyone's been doing Moneyball, which is like go with the data, but nobody understands the data. So they're just like the data says this made money, let's do it again and again and again and again. And by the time the original money runs out and they've cut their workforce by 40 to 70% to save money and increase their profits, and like things actually start drying up, they're like, oh, do we have a problem? Should we change how we address this? It's too late.
Yep.
um I sent you a picture in Discord. I'm not going to share it with everybody else, but I think you need to see it. We should make that the
That should be the thumbnail.
the thumbnail. That should be the thumbnail.
Oh man.
Ugh, that's terrible.
It is.
God, I don't know, man. What I do know is that all I care about is good stories and stories told well. And if they can, as you mentioned James Gunn, I don't fucking know what this guy's doing anymore, man.
I d-
I he's he has a plan, and we're seeing it come to light, and I'm like, okay, I've yet to be impressed. Am I gonna watch the Supergirl show? Yes, because Lobo's in it, and I love Lobo.
yeah.
But like, do I have any? Do I care? I might. You might make me care. I didn't care about Guardians of the Galaxy. I didn't care about Thor until I did. Like
Yeah.
so. I don't know. If James Gunn can't write this DC ship, there just can't be any more DC movies except the whatever the Batman is going on. Those can be the only DC movies. That's all we need.
Batman.
We only ever need more of the
Yeah.
Batman.
Batman. And then well, I would give a shot. I would give a chance to Wonder Woman again, but just
Never
don't have
again.
a high
No other movie.
expectation as to what that's gonna look like.
I'll tell
Just
you
be
what it's
honest.
going to look like. No!
uh, the good old days.
Anything else you
Not
got?
because it was good. No, I'm good. That's it.
I
My
have
heart and
one
mind is
more thing
clear.
to say.
Okay.
Mandalorian and Grogu. I don't know if it's
Okay.
going to be good, I don't know if it's gonna be fun, and I don't know if it's gonna be Star Wars, but I know I'm gonna watch it because it's got Grogu in it, and Grogu is Baby Yoda. And as I sent you earlier this week, Baby Yoda is adorable.
Fair. It's fair. And
And
that's
then
all that
one
matters.
day, in 25 years from now, when movies don't have Pedro Pascal, yeah,
Be a long time from now, buddy.
but that's it. Um, Nothing in the immediate future of note, so that's why we take some time between our shows to just kind of do that, and we also try to make the shows as clippable as possible, so we
Correct.
can constantly farm this one video for the next 2 weeks
Yeah,
of
that is correct.
shorts. So if you start seeing shorts of this pop up on your view, we're paying a lot of money for that. Give it a like,
Like
give
and
it a thumbs
subscribe.
up, subscribe, send me Venmo money, me directly. I'll put my Venmo QR code in the
QR
description.
code.
Yeah,
Wow.
send it directly to me. The best thing about
Wow.
Venmo, you could say it's for anything. You could even say butt stuff. I'm not going to stop. Just as
That's
long as
fair.
there's money. That's it, though. We are calling it here, I think. We've told all the stories we can tell. Have a good night, everybody. Keep being nerdy. Drink as much as you're allowed to. And goofy.
Bye.